Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Crossover Talk Show. I'm your host, Travis Garrison. We'll be talking sports and life. Got my good man, Kaiden Rice, with us today. How you doing, man?
I'm good. I appreciate you having me today.
Now, I appreciate you being on, man. Definitely thanks for your time, man. I know you in the process of getting ready for the draft and your workouts, man. So how's everything going with you?
Everything is good. I can't complain at all. I'm living my best life right now. So for a long time. So long time coming for real.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. Like I was saying, man, it's definitely a great process, man. I've been through it. It's a stressful one, but it's a fun one too. Cause like you said, getting ready for the NBA draft, all the hard work or the dreams you had since you was a little kid, and now it's only days, weeks away.
Well, for sure. Since I was 3. So it's kind of crazy that I'm even this old right now, and even able to think about it right now. Because
Right.
if I was in 6th grade, this would be happening right now. But oh, you kidding right now? But I mean, it's unfortunate that it's coming.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So from Columbus, South Carolina, right?
Columbia, South Carolina.
Columbia, South Carolina, man. How was it growing up there? I played in the beach ball classic in South Carolina. Played against we played man, we had like one of the biggest upsets down there. We lost. I played for the
Mm-hmm.
Mather, man, and we lost to Raymond Felton's team.
Mm. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah. Columbia is home. I love it here. Honestly, I'm a Southern boy at heart. I love the weather. I love that I'm like person change away from the beach. I love being at the beach. Living my life, and I love the food. I feel like the food is always better down here. So, um,
right.
growing up here, it's it's great, and I know there's a lot of misconceptions that it's just like all races down here, but
Right.
obviously there is some racism and like it is everywhere, but it's
Right.
not as open as people think it is.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you definitely hear stories, man. But like you said, man, that's stuff that's everywhere, What how did you how did you get into basketball? How did that all start for you?
Um, Crazy. So I actually started my first rec league when I was 4 years old. Like I
Wow.
at a young age. So my mom and my dad, they both went to Fayetteville State, and they had me there. Um, but my dad was a high school basketball and football coach. So like, as
Okay.
soon as I came out of the room, like all I knew was basketball. Like
Right.
that's all. So like I known ever since I was growing up, like, okay, I'm going to be playing basketball. This is
Right.
something I want to do.
Yeah, absolutely, man. When did you actually yourself fall in love with it, or you say, you know what, this is what I want to pursue this. I want to do this. I want to make it to the league. Like what age was that at?
I would have to say in 4th grade, I remember. So actually in 5th grade, um, summer after my 5th grade year, because I had appendicitis, and then I came back from surgery, and somehow I was able to shoot the ball way better than I used to before, and I became a shooter.
Right.
Ever then, I was like, okay, maybe I can take this thing a little bit more seriously and
Right.
pursue this thing for real.
Right. And when did you see it? When did you really know that you had something? Was it when you went to high school, middle school? When the people was like, man, you know what? Man, you gonna be something. What was that? And how did that
I was
feel?
actually I was a late bloomer, really, man. I didn't start getting like I'll say like 10th, no, ninth or 10th grade probably is where I was like,
Wow.
I can actually hoop a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Uh,
When people started taking notice of me and stuff like that. So I was probably say ninth, 10th grade.
10th grade. So how was your
Mhm.
how was your how was your high school experience for you? Like in regards to now you in the midst of everything. How was that process for you in regards to trying to balance both in regards to school and athletics?
Mhm. Um, it was definitely tough, but school kind of like came natural to me.
Ah, okay.
Like my mom is like really smart. Like, she was like valedictorian, like that smart. So like,
Oh wow.
I inherited some of that from her.
Right.
And like athletics, it just came with working really. So I know if I worked for it, it would, take care of itself.
Right. So your parents was like, man, look, if you ain't getting the grades, you ain't playing no basketball.
For sure. For sure. My mom used to get mad if I got a B. So
wow.
Yeah, it was a little tough, but it's something that I knew I can handle and knew I could handle. So basketball was this thing that I really wanted to do. So if all I do is get good grades, and that's what I was gonna put up with.
Right, absolutely, man. I tell kids all the time, like you could be the best basketball player on the court, but if you ain't got the grades, that don't even matter because no school is gonna want to bring you to their school because now they talking about it, they could be risking their scholarship if you ain't eligible. So I tell kids all the time, man, like for me, I wasn't a big fan of school at all when I was in high school. I had opportunities to go to USA basketball camp, training camp, all these different camps during the summertime, but I was in summer school every summer when I was in high school, man. So I missed out on a ton of opportunities because I didn't take school seriously. So, man, definitely hats off to your parents for, keeping your head on straight because, basketball is cool, but it's just a plus.
Of course, most definitely. I'm honestly, like, I'm good at it at school, but I'm not a fan of it either. I really don't like it at all, but I think it's important. It was important for my family, and I think it's important to be educated in general. So
Absolutely, absolutely. So what was that recruiting process like for you, man? I know, like for me, for example, I didn't like my two older brothers played basketball, but like that recruiting thing, they didn't really go through it like I did. With the coaches hounding you, blowing your phone up, trying to get in contact with your parents, with your aunts, your uncles, your cousins. So how did you handle that, and how did your parents handle that?
um, it's actually kind of crazy. Like I got recruited, like a lot of schools like were recruiting me, but I didn't really get a lot of offers in high school.
Okay.
So I was kind of like relatively under recruited, especially for a guy that, I was top 10 in the state and like region player of the year and just like getting all these accolades and stuff. But it was interesting to see that, that really doesn't mean much.
Right.
You got, so Ja was also, he's from where I'm from. And John Morant, and he actually was like under recruited as well. So it's just like, it's kind of sort of slept on really. But I remember getting my first call from App State, my first ever call of getting recruited, period. And I was just, this is the burst of excitement, like, oh snap, like, I'm about to be doing, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That was really exciting. And my parents were nothing but great, counselors to me in my decision. So it was stressful, definitely very stressful because he's like, you got one shot, one opportunity, kind of just like get this right.
Right.
School is best for me, both academically and athletically.
Hey, it's funny that you said that, right? I got my first recruiting letter, like I think I was like in the 10th, 11th grade or 10th or beginning of 11th grade. It's from LaSalle. Hey, I was so excited, right? On the letter, on the application they sent, I was about to say I want to commit now. Hey, that was the first. I still got it. I got all these boxes of letters from colleges, and I put on my envelope the first letter I ever received, and I was about to commit to LaSalle right then and there. Hey, could you say you excited? You man, like I used to go up in the coach's office and I see all these guys getting all these recruiting letters from all these different schools, and I just have like I said, I was like in the 10th, and I get like one or two. So I was like, so I seen that one, I was geeked. I was like, I said I'm about to go to LaSalle. So yeah, man, like I said, it's definitely something I look back on now, and I enjoy it, but I use that to help educate younger players and kids, man, because like you said, you got to be careful about your choice you choose for school because you put yourself in a situation, man, that's not a good situation for you. Then you mess up because a lot of guys you see, a lot of coaches, AAU coaches or whomever try to push you to certain schools for their benefits, but then you stuck in that situation and you got to deal with the coach and the system and everything, and you might not even fit there, but they don't care about that. So, man, you definitely said it right on, man. You got to make the right decision. And I seen that you chose Citadel. What made you choose them?
It was really a hard decision. Because, I didn't really want to go to military school. But I felt like it was something that I had to do to, guarantee my success in the future, not just like on the court, but like off the court as well. It was in Charleston. I love Charleston. And just the connections that to the alumni is a really good, it's like the #1 public school in the South. So like,
wow,
from Citadel, like, you're pretty much guaranteed some success in your youth, and then it's still Division I, too. And the system itself fit me too. I'm a shooter, and they play very fast and they get a lot of threes. I love to shoot the ball, so
right,
like a no-brainer. And it's like I can sacrifice being in military school, for these 4 years, for the 40 years afterwards, having guaranteed success and everything I do in my life.
absolutely. How was that for you, man? Military school, man. What was that like, man? But hey, you know what? It kind of helped you in the sense of the early wake ups, that discipline, man. So, but how was it, that military style? But like I said, I know you is a trade off, but how did you handle it, man? And like, what was your first day like, or your first experience that having to wake up super early and having to be like on point with everything? How was that? What was that first day like?
It was by far the 4 hardest years I've ever had in my life. In my life. I remember the first night I got there, you're expected to get like, I guess like helped into the system a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Get there on the first day, somebody's yelling at your face, "Oh, come here, go get this, go get this, put your phone up, go here. And then just like yelling like crazy, and you're just like, yo, what is going on? What's going on right now? But it chilled out just like a little bit, but freshman year is by far the hardest year ever in my life. Just like people that are maybe a year older than you, or maybe younger than you, are in charge of bossing you around, and you can't say nothing, or you get in trouble. A lot of your freedom is taken away. I have more freedom in high school, middle school than I did in college, which is
right
opposite of most everybody else when they go to school. But it did show me some discipline, got me more organized. It was beneficial for me as a person, my character, moving along. But it was hard. It takes a certain person to go to the military school, for sure.
Yeah, I can see, man. So definitely hats off to you for that. Because like you said, man, just being an athlete, period. And then, you know how we some athletes are when they get that little, the ego in a sense, in a little bit. But like you said, you go somewhere where other kids around your age or younger telling you what to do. So
yes.
You had to deal with that. And then, like I said, that transition from high school to college is an experience within itself of trying to adapt to, leaving high school, going to that college life and that college experience in regards to on the court and getting used to the system. But you had to adapt to the on the court, the off the court, and that whole process. Man, that's tough, man. Honestly, I don't know if I would been able to do that.
Oh man, I wouldn't trade the experience for nothing at all. But if I knew what I knew now, and I asked myself, and somebody asked me, do I want to go? Probably wouldn't. But
probably wouldn't.
I'm grateful for the experience. And
right, but I seen that you finished up your time at Georgetown, right?
Yeah.
How did that process work? Because back when I played, it wasn't that long ago. Don't think I'm that old, but it wasn't that long ago. But back when I played, that transfer thing wasn't like the transfer portal. We didn't have none of that. So, if you wanted to transfer, you had to sit out. You had to transfer and sit out a year and things like that. So, how did you end up at Georgetown, and how did that whole process work? That's what I want to know. That's the first question.
Yeah. So actually, originally through the whole year, we didn't even know if we were really going to get an extra year eligibility. So we really got our extra year eligibility for COVID.
Right.
Our COVID year. It wasn't really official yet that we would be able to transfer without having to lose a year eligibility. So this whole year, I'm thinking, okay, not a draft prospect yet. I probably got to go overseas at this point and work my way over there and then try to knock some eyes off in the NBA world. Then they changed the rule and said that we're giving us extra year of eligibility. I'm like, okay, well, I'm still 50-50 on if I'm going straight pro or if I'm taking another year to play basketball. So I finally made a decision to go to Georgetown. And they weren't even in my top 8. Actually, I released the top 8. And they had offered me after I released it.
Wow.
So I originally wasn't going to consider like any other schools, but the people that was in the top 8, focus on all of them. But Coach Ewan called. It was just too good to pass up.
You can't turn down Coach Ewan, man. You can't turn down Pat Ewan. Come on,
it was just it was way too good to pass up. Playing for legendary Georgetown, the history that the program has in basketball. You got Pat Ewan, one of the 50 greatest players of all time.
Mm-hmm.
From him and in connections that he had, having NBA teams coming in and out of your gym and getting eyes on you at all times. It was just something that I couldn't pass up.
Absolutely. So what was that transition like for you from going to rah in your face from your peers to now you're at Georgetown? You kind of got a little bit more freedom, but now you pretty much disciplined now because you went through it for 4 years. So you operate a little differently probably than most of your teammates. How was that experience and that transition for you?
Yeah, definitely. I just saw it as, okay, I'm one of the older guys on the team. I got to try to be a leader and try to be a good mentor to the young guys on the team. I'm only going to be there for a year, but I still forget about what's going on during the school year. If I'm not like a good brother, a good mentor to my younger brothers on the team, then I'm not really doing this right. So it's just, do what I need to do, take care of what I want to take care of in every aspect of my life. And, that's pretty much how it works at Citadel. You just take care of what you got to take care of, and then you worry about what other luxuries you can do after that. But take care of what you need to take care of, and then your life is pretty much fine. So that's, kind of what I live by.
Man, that's awesome, man. How was it playing for legendary Coach Patrick Ewing Sr., man? How was that for you?
It was crazy, just like going to everywhere we went, like whether it be a hotel or to the gyms, you just like look, everybody's looking like, oh, that's Pat Ewing, that's Pat Ewing, that's Pat Ewing. But to us, he just Coach Pat, you know what I mean? Coach Ewing.
Right.
He was pretty cool, and he was definitely, we had NBA scouts at our practices all the time because of the connections that he established with people that he already played for. So I'm forever grateful that he's always sharing, his experiences of how good he had to be on the court and off the court to be, drafted, because it's something that he did too as well. So he's trying to piece his mind and get everything that he has to offer experience-wise. He has a wealth of knowledge.
Absolutely, man. Like you said, man, you're getting it from, like you said, one of the top players of all times, to have them as your coach, somebody you could talk to on a daily basis. And I'm pretty sure I know you was in his ear asking him all type of questions that he's prepping you. Like, it don't get no better than that. You got somebody that's been there, done that can give you that understanding, that knowledge of what they went through and what to expect.
Exactly.
So you see any of those other great Georgetown NBA players come through your doors when you was there?
Yeah, so I seen Otto Porter come in. Ryan, the Kemi Mutombo came in a lot because his son actually played with us, Ryan Mutombo. Okay. So he was there a lot. Murasan, he is a giant, by the way, but he came by sometimes. Lonzo Morning. I seen a lot of greats come in. It's just like, I'm really in this program that sent all these great players, to the league. So I was definitely grateful. Trying to take it for granted down there.
Absolutely, man. Like you said, man, they don't get the legendary Georgetown, man. They don't get in regards to the history of basketball, man. One of the greatest programs of all time. And then, like I said, playing against one of the greatest players that ever played of all time, man, it's definitely a heck of an experience. So what kind of advice would you give to younger players that's in high school, about to go to college, or they're about to enter their first year in college? What kind of advice would you give to them?
Like I said, I think the biggest thing is finding a team that fits you. So like I'll give you an example. My little brother, he actually is a freshman at William and Mary this year. And he had a whole bunch of like high major schools offering like recruiting him as well. Mm-hmm. He chose William and Mary because it's a school that fit him. And he knew he would come in right away and play. It doesn't matter what school you go to if you don't get on the court. And
exactly.
They believe in going to the system that will fit you. He went in, he made the all-rookie team, and now his options are endless. So he's going back because that's just loyal as a, that's just how we were raised. But it's just amazing what you can do when you have the right fit. Even people in the NBA, they don't go to the right fit and scheme. It still doesn't work for them, no matter how really good you are as a player.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Everything you're saying is exactly right. And that's some of the things I tell the kids. And I said, look, if you're good, you can play, they're going to find you. And it's been proven time and time again, whether you're overseas, whether you're in D3, D2, if you can play basketball, they're going to find you. Because what the people have found out is sometimes people are in lower majors or at a smaller school, not because they can't play, probably because of grades or because, like you say, they got underlooked. Like you got so many examples that's around you that a lot of people think that, oh, I got to go to a big name school to get. Nah, you go to big name school, then you're gonna have all these other All-Americans coming through. They're fighting for time. Where you could be. My agent used to always tell me this: you could be a big fish in a small pond, or be a small fish in a big pond. So which option do you want? So is this? But like you said, if you can hoop and you can play, guys tell me this all the time. Whether it don't matter where you at, if you can hoop, they're gonna find you because you're that good and your name is ringing bells. So. Like you said, man, it doesn't matter. And these kids got to understand that. A lot of times, kids want to go to the big schools, the high majors, then they see that it's not all what it's cracked up to be. And now they got to make different moves. So man, that's definitely great advice.
Yeah, because if you're not a star, you're probably not going to, I won't say you won't be playing that much, but you're definitely not going to be starting. Probably.
Right.
Because that's just, I mean, just see it. They see it as a little hierarchy. They got big guys that's already there on top of the 5 stars that they get.
Absolutely, right. So now you finish up your college career. Now you pursuing your dream, man. Something that you've been wanting for since you was 3 or 4 years old. That's right around now. And right around the corner. How you feeling about that? And what's your workout process been like since you left school?
So. Well, my thought process for one is just like all the excitement. I mean, it's scary a little bit because I don't know where I'll be living even next year. But it's also an excitement to that, it's kind of like spontaneity to it. But my process it's been pretty cool. It's been all basketball, which is, what I work for. I want my life to be all basketball. At the end of the day, when you're pro, that's how you
Absolutely.
It's been at least like 3 hours a day, 5-6 days a week. Just like straight basketball conditioning, some strength training. I did all that in DC for about a month and a half now. I'm in Columbia at home for a little bit, training with my pops because he has a basketball training business. So I'm training with him right now. And then on to Atlanta. For a couple of days to train there until summer league starts. So.
Absolutely, man. Like I said, man, I've been through that whole process, and a lot of kids and these youngins think that it's sweet when you're trying to get to that next level. And I tell them, I said, look here, if you think it's easy and you think it's sweet, don't get it to because what it does is when you're going through that process, you training and you're going through that. I mean, like you really getting ready for that next level. That process is going to let you know if you really want it or not, because it's not easy at all.
Not at all. You have to love it. You absolutely have to love it. If you don't love it, then it's probably not going to work out. Because you see a lot of people. I see a lot of people that I know. They quitting within like the first week, couple of weeks, because it's like, oh, this is what this is. That's not what I signed up for. You know what I mean? And you really gotta love it. And thankfully, I do, and I have been for a long time. It's something I really want to do. So it's something that I'm going to just get through and enjoy.
Absolutely, and I tell guys that's in your position and all the time, man. It's like how you have to look at it is like how many other people are trying to get that same spot you're trying to get. So if that's the case, what's going to separate you from everybody else? What's going to separate you from the pack? So that's why when I was training, going through that process, I had to train like that. Times I didn't want to go do the extra rep. Time I didn't want to do the extra sprint. Time I didn't want to wake up and work out that morning. My body aching, my body tired, but I'm like, if I'm not working out, somebody else is. So that was my whole thought process. And then even still, you see surprises all the time. Guys you didn't see that's gonna get drafted as high, end up getting drafted higher than you thought. Or the draft time is a crazy time. And even if you don't get drafted, it's like, that's like, I was just talking to another gentleman, man. He was talking about, man, the best option I probably could have had is not getting drafted. That way I would have had my better option to pick. But even though getting drafted is a dream, it's a dream to hear your name being called, walk across that stage, or see your name pop up as one of the 59 picks or 60 picks. So, but that, like I said, man, that this whole journey within itself, getting to this next level, man, definitely congratulations to you, man, because not too many people could reach where you're at right now. And then the sky's the limit, all depending on what you want and how you want your journey to go. Some things will come unexpected. Some things not going to happen that you didn't want to happen, but it's all about how you bounce back from that and get through adversity and things like that, you know?
I appreciate that. I appreciate it a lot, yes, sir.
Yeah, before I let you go, man, you got to tell me something that people don't know about Kaiden Rice, man, that you want them to know. What is something that nobody knows about you, or like, man, people don't know that? Like, people don't, a lot of people know I'm a goof troop, man. I love to be funny and act silly. But what is something that people don't know that you would like for them to know about Kaiden Rice? Kaiden Rice.
I am literally the biggest anime fan, like, and no shame whatsoever about saying it too. Like, I love anime.
Right.
I literally, once I'm done being fluent in Spanish, I learn Japanese for the sake of watching anime without subtitles. Being able to do it.
Hey, that's
like
what
100% serious.
Hey, that's what's up. My oldest son is into anime heavy. I'm talking about like heavy. Like, that's his thing. He watches the Japanese and actually he told himself Japanese. He want to move to Japan. Like, he's into the whole anime. Like, that's his thing.
Yes. I love it.
Nah, hey, definitely Kaiden Rice, former Georgetown Hoya, future pro. Hey, I definitely wish you the best of luck, man. I definitely appreciate you taking time out your schedule to take some time out to join the Crossover Talk Show. Definitely the best of luck to you. I'm definitely gonna be following you, man, and anything that you need from me, any advice, anything, man. I'm definitely here for you, man. But I definitely want to wish you the best of luck in the future, in the next couple of weeks.
Appreciate you. I appreciate you for having me again. It was nice to come and talk on the show, man.
Absolutely, man. Definitely, man. We're gonna be watching out for you, man. So definitely keep working and do your thing, man.
I will do.
All right, take care.
Hello, my name is Walla Blagay, and I am running to be the District 6 representative on the Prince George's County Council. District 6 is our home. We value the strength of our neighbors and our community. We treasure the surrounding green space that provides us the opportunity to enjoy quality time with our family and friends. We encourage economic growth by starting and supporting local and small businesses. And we want to continue to spend our dollars in our communities. But we know we need more. We need better quality restaurants, retail options, and grocery stores. Stores that provide the quality products that reflect the diverse needs of our residents. Our county has a vision for several economic development projects, such as Downtown Largo and the Hampton Mall project. That growth must include all of District 6. This type of growth not only provides opportunities for entrepreneurs, but also growth in our workforce, development, and training, and supports a commuter-friendly county. I want us to have the District 6 we deserve, and that's why I'm ready to work for you. Visit my website at wallybrigade.com to learn more about what we can do together.
Hello, everyone. I'm Travis Garrison. Welcome to the Crossover Talk Show, where we talk about sports and life. Here at the Crossover Talk Show, our main thing is to give a platform to individuals and organizations, companies that's doing things that's positive in the community, those who would like to share with you all about their passion and things that they believe in regards to helping others in the community. We're very big on that here at the Crossover Talk Show about helping the community and giving back. Even throughout my life, being a former professional basketball player, been through a lot of ups and downs. My purpose, my passion is to help others, young adults, help anybody, honestly, that's going through the journey throughout life, because we know that in this journey that we're going to be faced with a lot of adversity. And, when we go through adversity, the thing is, sometimes it's tough to get through by ourselves. So those individuals who've been through adversity, they try to share their experiences and how they overcame with other people, so they can help them throughout their journey in life. And that's pretty much what I've been big on, even with, my company Think First and the number of books that I've written, is to try to help other individuals throughout their journey in life, to try to help and provide information to them, whether I'm being completely transparent with some of my failures, a lot of my ups and downs, even if it's just to help them throughout their journey. And most recently, I've written a book called The Crossover, A Bridge from the Court to Life. And here is basically what I did was I'm talking to young athletes. Through my journey through basketball, I faced a lot of ups and downs, on the court and off the court. And I've seen times when I was successful and why I was successful. And then I understand now why at times I was not successful, whether it's lack of focus, concentration, not being disciplined. When I was successful, I was really focused. I worked hard. I trained hard. I was preparing like I should have. So even now throughout my life, a lot of how I get through life now, or how I carry myself in a sense, there's a lot of stuff I've learned through basketball. I've learned, I give an example all the time of when I was in college and we was in the ACC tournament, and going into the tournament, we were on the bubble, and people didn't believe that we were going to make it to the tournament because we were on the bubble, we were young. But then we go in and we end up being the number 3, number 2, number 1 seed. particularly the game against NC State, which is semifinals. We were down 20 at half, but we didn't give up. We persevered and we overcame that deficit, and we came back and won a game. Ended up playing Duke in the championship, winning double overtime, and basically was the number 4 seed in the NCAA tournament. So I use that example all the time of, it's not over till it's over. Don't give up. If you don't give up, there's a chance that anything can happen. But if you give up, you would never know what can happen because you gave up. So here with the crossover, I basically used the fundamentals of basketball, uh, things that kids learn at a very young age, whether it's dribbling, passing, shooting, rebounding, all those fundamental things that you should learn as a kid when you first start playing basketball. But like I said, what I did was, because I know how I operate in life, and a lot of the fundamental tools I learned through basketball I use in my everyday life now. I know the importance of teamwork, bouncing back from adversity, rebounding back when things not going right, not giving up. It's not over to the final buzzer is what I say all the time in basketball, and the same thing in life. As long as you got lungs in your breath, I mean you got breath in your lungs, anything is possible. And that's what I try to teach young kids, and I remind myself of every day. So with the crossover, a bridge from the court to life, I basically used all the fundamentals that the kids will learn at a young age. For example, dribbling. I talk about the importance of dribbling, and just the foundation of it. Having a solid foundation with your legs, and keeping your eyes up, and you know from the form that you're supposed to have when you're dribbling the basketball, the reason why dribbling is important, or why you should dribble. I talk about all those fundamentals in regards to how you go about doing that. But then I also focus on the life skills portion of it, in the sense of, okay, if I can show the kids how they can use these same tools, these same fundamentals that they're going to learn on the court, how they can transfer it to off the court. And I wanted to make it black and white, make it super transparent for the kids, where they can have a clear understanding of, okay, well, if I just learned this on the court, I can use this at home, at school, in my everyday life. And dribbling, is obviously is to get the basketball from one end of the court to the other, or is to, get in a position where you can pass to your teammate. And then I teach the kids how, I ask questions. There's questions in the book in regards to, you know, how would you build a strong foundation in regards to your everyday life? Dribbling, you have to have a strong foundation when you're dribbling, to make sure you're in stance when nobody can, your opponent, the defender can't knock you off balance. So I say, well, okay, how can you use these same tools in life? Having a strong foundation where it's gonna be, you know, what your parents taught you, discipline, and um, character. That the things that's the fundamentals of life in regards to how you carry yourself, and just dribbling from one end to the other. So how would you get from this end to the next? Or you know in school, how would I get from, I'm failing right now, how can I get to not failing, in regards to make it get a better grade, and those things like that. So we show, my purpose was to show them how they can use these same tools. Dribbling is a perfect example. I talk about the purpose of dribbling. I talk about the purpose of dribbling, and then, I talk about dribbling failures in regards to, okay, when you don't have a strong foundation, or if you keep your eye down and you're looking at the basketball when you're dribbling, you can't see what's going on around you. You can't see if your teammate is wide open. You can't see if a defender is coming behind you, about to get the ball from you. So I talk about those things, and then I talk about, ask other questions, whereas, how can you regain control? Because when you're dribbling, you have to have control of the basketball. You have to control of yourself. When point guards are like a very good point guard, they can not look at the basketball at all and be able to control the court, see what the defender is, see what the offensive player is, see what they're at in the court. And they have to have control. They have to be able to call the plays without letting the basketball. They have to be able to see the whole floor and still be able to contain their dribble. And I do those same things in life. How can you regain control? when things don't go your way or when things are not going how you expected? How can you regain control in your life, in your everyday life? How do you do that? And that's just, stay calm, be easy, because as point guards, you have to be calm. You run the show. So you have to regain your composure and basically get back control of things when things are getting out of control. Like, when guys dribbling the basketball, they get double teamed. Now you're in alert. Now you're trying to get rid of the basketball, but you have to maintain your dribble because you pick up the basketball, you get double teamed, and it's going to be hectic because they're going to be all over your face, and it's going to be hard to pass the ball at that point. So, but if you can maintain your dribble until you're ready to pass the ball or make a move, then things are a lot better. You're a lot more calm, and that's the main thing when you're dribbling the basketball is being calm. So I talk about those things, and like I said, my main thing is to, talk about how you can be successful on the court, but also off the court as well. And I said, like, at the end of each chapter or throughout the chapter, we're asking questions for the athlete can basically check themselves or think about what they just read. That's the main thing. Is not just to read something, but to also, we wanted to also uh, have them thinking throughout that chapter. And the next chapter, for example, is shooting. Is shooting. Here, I talk about the same thing, the foundation of shooting, all the things that these kids gonna learn at a very young age. The arc and the form and the bending of your knees and when I was first taught how to shoot a basketball, my oldest brother, great shooter, he's a left-hander, but he used to teach me that. And throughout my whole life, I've been a very good shooter. As I progressed throughout my career. But I've learned the technique of shooting to a point where a defender could have their hand in my face, and as long as I could see the basket or I seen the basket, I know the measurements, I know the angle, I know how I have to shoot the ball. We talk about all those things, the arc and pointing your finger inside the rim, all those different things, and that's what I talk about here in this book in regards to shooting. The form, the correct form you're supposed to have. Shooting is not easy, especially if you're just learning how to play basketball. It's not easy at all. There's a lot of dynamics that goes along with that, but I talk about everything in regards to that. Your foundation of your legs, the arc of your hand, where the ball is at in your palm, all type of things. And the same thing here, we also talk about, we ask questions throughout there. The strong foundation, how would you build a strong foundation in regards to shooting? And then the same thing in your everyday life. But also when it comes to shooting, the importance of it, the importance of shooting on the basketball court is that you want to obviously score. You want to get the basket and you want to be able to score, because that's the whole point of basketball, is to the team who has the highest point, they win the game. But when you're shooting, you have to have that confidence. For me, for example, as I grew within my career, I've learned that the more shots I take, the better my chances. But at the same time, you have to have confidence within your shot when you take your shot. But if you're not practicing, if you're not, I used to, after practice, I would go and I would make 300, 400 shots. I would make 300, 400 shots. But I probably would shoot, well, I got better, but I probably would shoot maybe 400, 500 shots to make 300 to 400 shots. For example, my percentage probably was higher than that. But I'm saying that to say is you have to practice. And it's not easy. To become a great shooter, you have to practice. And sometimes it could be frustrating because you're learning. And if you're not a great shooter, you have to learn how to shoot. You have to learn your form. It's difficult, but it's possible. And I've learned that throughout my playing career is that I've learned and I've noticed that when I did practice, when I did train and shoot multiple shots and made more shots the day before games, I went to the game, I was super confident. It was times that I went in there when I shot the shot, I could just turn my head because I know I was going to make it because I had that much confidence in it. Because the night before, I put up so many shots and I made so many shots on all parts of the floor that I knew I was going to take my shots, that I knew I was going to make it. And if I didn't make it, I was shocked. That's because I trained that way. But there's also been times where I didn't train and I didn't work on my shot, or I got multiple shots up throughout the week or the night before the game. And so there's times when I went in the game and I wasn't confident in my shot. So now I'm hesitating. Now I'm thinking, And that's the worst thing you could do as a player is think too much before you take a shot. Because now you don't know. You're uncertain. So now you take that shot, you're not confident in taking that shot, and you miss the shot, or you just don't know. It's like a prayer. I'm throw it up here. I hope it go in. I hope it go in. Whereas if you practice all week, you got multiple shots up to, like, for example, Steph Curry. He makes, I think, 500 shots or 500 threes a night. So that's why a lot of times when you guys see him shooting, he turns his back and he's running another end because he has that much confidence in it. Because he said, I just shot this shot 500 times the night before. So he has that much confidence in his shot. And he can run away and turn away and it's going in. Or, he's a great shooter. People are like, because he practiced that. He has that much confidence because he practiced that. But like I said, there's been times when I didn't practice and I was, oh man, I hope I make a shot. Oh, I don't take a shot. Now I'm hesitant. Now people on the floor, defenders, the fans, they see that. Nervous. You're scared. You're not certain. Same thing in life. I tell kids all the time is, okay, if you have a game on Friday, what are you doing throughout the week? What does the coach have you doing? You're practicing almost every day for that game on Friday. And then if you want to be a great player, what you're doing is after practice, you're working out again because you want to be great and you want to work on your own game and you want to work on things. So now when it comes time for that game on Friday, you walk into the game and you're super confident. Now you're taking shots and you're like, I know I'm going to make it. Because I just practiced and worked my butt off the whole week preparing for that. Same thing, for example, if you have a test on Friday and you go in and you've been practicing, you've been putting 2-3 hours in every night. It's not easy. Nobody wants to do it. I never wanted to do it. But you go in and you're studying and you're working your butt off and you're preparing for that test on Friday. You're going to go in and you say, you know what? I know I'm passing the test. I know everything on here. I studied my butt off. So now you're walking on there and you're walking out of the classroom. You're like, and the parents ask you, how you doing the test? Oh, I got an A. Well, I know I passed it. Why? Because you practiced and you took that shot all week. But you didn't train or you didn't study. Now you're going in there guessing. I've done it multiple times. I went in there and I was any, mini, money, mo, and I'm guessing because I didn't practice. I didn't study. So now you're guessing. Now you're not confident. How did your test go? I hope. I pray I pass. I hope I pass. And that's just, like I said, taking your shot, going after opportunities. People always say, like in basketball, if you don't take your shot, you don't know if you're going to make it or not because you didn't take the shot. But if you take the shot, confident, knowing that anything is possible, especially if you're confident, you worked hard enough to make that shot, then you should know that it's anything can happen. But you have to take the shot. You have to go after the opportunity. I don't know if I can, get this job. Or I don't know if I, get this opportunity. But if you don't try, you would never know. And that's why I try to teach kids. You have to try. Don't be scared. Or, you have an audition coming up and you got to practice for it. It's not just going to be given to you. You have to work for it. You have to work for what you want in order to get what you want. But you have to go after the opportunity. If you don't go after it, you would never know. So that's some of the things that I talk about in this book is, especially with shooting, that's one of the things is going after opportunities. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. It's like if you don't try, how would you know? Now you living your life and it's like, man, only if. Oh, if I only would have, tried or did it. But if you never did, you would never know. There's been times where, I was scared of going after opportunities or doing things. And I didn't do it, and you don't know the outcome because you didn't even try. Whereas if you tried and you were confident in it, or even if you weren't confident, you just try, just give yourself a chance, then anything is possible. And I learned, like, obviously I've been here 38 years, so as you get older, throughout your life you face a lot of different things. But as a youth, as a kid, you guys, you have to go after your opportunities. Don't be scared. Don't be scared, because if it's meant to be, it's going to be. That's how my mom is always. If it's meant to be, it's going to be. You got to try. Don't give up. Keep going. So those are some of the examples of how I'm teaching kids about life skills throughout my book, The Crossover Bridge from the Court to Life. Throughout, the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be diving in a little further in these books, but I think this is a great book, not because, it's mine or I wrote it. It's more so because I know what basketball did for me. And just because I talk about basketball here, you can apply these life skills to any sport. You just transfer, whether it's football, soccer, whatever, that you just use different fundamentals that you guys are learning to teach these life skills. Because I think it's very important that these kids learn these things at a younger age, whether they get older. Because, like I said, for me, you know, through basketball, I've learned so many different life skills that I use today in life. And I think it's important that the younger the kids learn these life skills that they can use not just on the court, because you can be a great basketball player, football player, soccer, whatever it is on the field court. But if you're not, you know, you don't display those same things off the court, and you don't have good character, or you, not going after opportunities, or you're making bad choices, it can affect everything that you're doing on the court or the field. And I think that more coaches and more people need to talk more about life skills and how the importance of it off the court and off the field, because as we know, as we've seen, a lot of people, individuals, athletes lost opportunities, lost money, lost jobs because of the choices that they made off the court and off the field. And how bad would it be if you work so hard to obtain something and getting yourself in a position, whether it's to get a scholarship or you finally got drafted to the NBA, NFL, and you get to this elite level, and then they get ripped away because of the choice you made off the court and off the field. And how bad would that be? All these opportunities you could have had, been a role model, affecting people's lives, changing your family's life, whether it's financially, whether it's wealth-wise, whatever it is. And how bad would it be is to ruin all that because of you didn't have proper life skills. And I think that, you know, with this book, I think it's a great addition to a kid's life, whether they're playing sports or not, because it talks about life skills, and I think that's very important for the youth today. So I'm very excited about this book. You can go to www.think-first.net, and you'll find this book, The Crossover, on there. Definitely check it out. I think it's an important book to have, a important tool for kids to have. Parents, I think you'll love it. I think your kids will love it. So yeah, definitely check it out. I'm going to talk more about it, more shows to come. But like I said, I always appreciate you guys' support, your love for the Crossover Talk Show. Be sure to tune in for more great guests to come. Also, you know, if you're a student athlete or you know a student athlete that you think we need to highlight or spotlight on the show, definitely tune in. Also, if you want to be a guest on the show, you know, go to www.thecrossovertalkshow.com. I appreciate you guys. And always remember to think first. Don't think about how your actions can affect now, but think about how it can affect everything and everyone around you. Appreciate you guys. Here, Travis Garrison, the Crossover Talk Show, where we talk sports and life.
Local government exercise very important functions in the United States. They are responsible for creating state legislation which can become state law. They plan and pay for roads, run public schools, parks and libraries, provide water and utilities, and organize law enforcement, elections, and much more. As citizens, local government is more easily obtainable and are the means in which we communicate to the federal government. This is why it is important that we vote in more than just primary presidential elections. Midterm and local elections are just as, if not more, important for our communities and its efficiency. Resistance is local. Criminal justice reform is local. Gentrification is local. And the right to vote is a privilege that once was not granted to all citizens because of their gender, race, or ethnicity. So today, we are all afforded this right, and we should vote at every given opportunity, simply because we can. For more information on voting in poll areas, please visit the link below.